Hello, this is Nancy Price. I'm sort of a bi-coastal person. I grew up in the East Coast. My parents had moved from the West Coast, New England area. Then by chance, in 1973, I moved to Davis, California. It felt in an odd way like a homecoming because both my parents were born and went to lower school and high school in Fresno, California. I've done quite a bit of work with the Fresno branch. I met Jan Edwards through the Alliance for Democracy, where she, living in Point Arena, California, up the coast, introduced a resolution that corporations should not be recognized as persons. And this was in the late 1906, 7, 8. And that sort of started her and my interest through her friendship with her, my interest in both WILPF and in the issue of corporate power, and corporations are not persons. And so then I became a member and began to work on the water campaign in the early 2000s. What am I doing today is I'm still working on water, but as a project in the Earth Democracy Issue Committee. It's very exciting, actually. We've had some announcement, let me see, it was a day or two ago, that the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, is now going to focus on 6 of the PFAS forever chemicals and limit them in drinking water to a very small percentage. This is related to our militarypoisons.org project that Pat Elder, Marguerite Edelman in Vermont, and I co-chair. And we've been working since 2020 on this issue of the forever chemicals, the very large family of PFAS chemicals. So the EPA, listening to us and some other of the environmental organizations, has now decided to focus on 6 to limit their occurrence in drinking water. But as Pat Elder would tell all our members, the occurrence of PFAS in drinking water is about 20% of the sources of PFAS in the environment, in fish, and in various commercial products. So this is great evidence of how public pressure can change government policy slowly, but maybe surely. As we all know in working in WILPF, that it's very important to apply a perspective that focuses not on the large issue of peace and freedom and how we accomplish that over these many years and decades, but also how do we frame what we do at the local and national level in terms of specific rights, the human right to water, the human right to health, the human right to food. And this allows us to not only be part of the larger human rights and justice movements and peace movements, but it also allows us to, or provides us the opportunity of working at the local level to really sort of bring this analysis, but also our work home to the local community. Branches have great challenges, but also wonderful opportunities. And it's also where, when we have appropriate funding, we can further develop the work that our issue committees can do, and the kinds of materials, the kinds of social media, the kinds of communications that we want to provide. And so as an older citizen, having my 84th birthday in June, although that's an event to contemplate, it's also necessary to think about, well, what am I going to do to continue my work through my a legacy donation to WILPF, so that my values that are consonant with WILPF and peace and freedom can be carried on by the next generation. In Earth Democracy, we not only use the precautionary principle as one of our guiding frameworks, but we also use the the principle of guardianship for present and future generations. And that means that a bequest and a legacy donation to WILPF really ensures that framing principle for the Earth Democracy Committee can be carried forward. So as I think of my own commitment to WILPF and making a legacy gift, I think it's very important to, speaking about this, that the amount doesn't matter, you know, it's the commitment to make that pledge so that the work in WILPF can be carried on. And so whatever amount one can provide for support, from a small to a much larger donation, is really important and can make such a difference at this time when our country is facing so many challenges, and we can do so much work in WILPF to really make the most of these challenges, but also of the great opportunities for system change and making a difference.